You guys, this is the biggest legal crisis Andrew Tate has ever faced. And for the first time, it's not happening in Romania or online. It's happening in an American courtroom. For years, Andrew Tate has built his entire brand around being untouchable, the guy powerful people are supposedly terrified of. But this week, that story got a lot harder to sell, because Andrew and his brother Tristan were arrested by U.S. Marshals in Miami after British prosecutors filed a massive new wave of charges and requested their extradition. We're breaking down exactly what's confirmed, what's still allegation, and what happens next. This isn't a small update to an old case. This is an entirely new set of charges on top of everything already pending, and it's landed the Tate brothers in a U.S. federal courtroom in handcuffs and shackles for the first time. We're going to walk through the timeline, the numbers, and the very strange few days that led up to this arrest. Let's start with the facts, because there's a lot of noise around this case, and it's important to separate what's verified from what's speculation. On July 18th, U.S. Marshals arrested Andrew and Tristan Tate in Miami. This came after British prosecutors authorized 38 new charges against the brothers, which, combined with charges already pending, brings Andrew's total to 42 charges in the UK, and Tristan's to 17, 59 charges combined. According to the Crown Prosecution Service, the new evidence brings the total number of alleged victims in this case to 7. The charges against Andrew reportedly include additional counts of rape, sex trafficking, assault, and offenses relating to indecent images of a child. Tristan faces charges including sexual assault, rape, and sex trafficking. To be clear, the Crown Prosecution Service has been explicit that a charging decision is not a finding of guilt, and both brothers deny every single allegation against them. Their legal team has confirmed they intend to fight extradition through the courts. To understand why this moment feels so significant, it helps to understand how Andrew Tate got here in the first place. He's a former professional kickboxer who reinvented himself as an online business guru, building a massive following by selling courses on making money and living what he branded as an unapologetically masculine lifestyle. Along the way, scrutiny grew around his earlier business ventures, including allegations that he ran webcam operations by manipulating women into producing content for profit. Allegations he has denied. Rather than damaging his brand, the controversy seemed to fuel it. Every ban, every headline, every new allegation became content for an audience that had come to see it all as proof he was being targeted by people in power. The legal pressure on Andrew Tate didn't start this month. It's been building for years. Back in December 2022, Romanian authorities arrested both brothers as part of an investigation into human trafficking and forming an organized criminal group, alleging they recruited women under the pretense of genuine relationships and then pressured them into producing content for profit. The brothers have denied those allegations from the start, and the Romanian case has dragged through years of appeals, procedural disputes, and legal challenges, with no resolution in sight. In February 2025, Romanian authorities eased the brothers' travel restrictions, and they flew to the United States, eventually making their way to Florida. But here's the part a lot of people miss. Romania relaxing its restrictions didn't mean every other investigation into the Tate brothers had stopped. British authorities, working through Bedfordshire and Hertfordshire police, had spent years building a completely separate case. Once the brothers were confirmed to be on U.S. soil, UK prosecutors moved to formally request extradition. In the days right before the arrest, the brothers weren't exactly staying out of the spotlight. Photos surfaced of them alongside a sitting U.S. congressman, and reports emerged they'd attended a private party hosted by a figure described as a special envoy for global partnerships. The host later clarified there was nothing official about the gathering, just a brief informal visit. Days later, federal marshals took both brothers into custody. When Andrew and Tristan appeared in federal court, the scene looked nothing like the version of them the public usually sees. Both men were brought in wearing jail uniforms with handcuffs and shackles. And according to reporters present, they said almost nothing beyond confirming they understood their rights. It's about as far from their usual online persona as you can get. Outside the courtroom, though, the messaging hasn't changed. Andrew's lawyer, Joseph McBride, released a lengthy statement arguing the case is politically motivated, at one point describing the extradition effort in dramatic terms and insisting the brothers will ultimately be cleared. Andrew himself has continued to argue publicly that the accusations against him are false, and that this is part of a broader campaign to silence him. The same framing he's used since his very first arrest in Romania. Adding another strange layer to the story, one vocal supporter reportedly spent tens of thousands of dollars flying from Dubai to Miami specifically to campaign outside the federal detention center, calling on senior U.S. officials to intervene in the case. Whatever the intent behind that trip, it hasn't changed the legal process playing out in court. So, what's actually next, beyond the headlines? Extradition is not instant. The brothers are contesting the UK's request in federal court in Florida, and their legal team has made clear they'll fight it at every stage. A process that, under the US-UK extradition treaty, can realistically take months given the appeals process involved. Even if a judge ultimately approves the request, there are still additional executive branch steps required before anyone is actually transferred between countries. And extradition isn't the only front here. Even if the brothers successfully avoid being sent to the UK, the original Romanian case is still active, unresolved, and completely separate from these new charges. In other words, this legal battle doesn't end no matter which way the extradition fight goes. It just continues on a different front. For years, Andrew Tate told his audience that every investigation, every arrest, every new allegation was proof that powerful people were afraid of him. For the first time, that argument is being tested in a real courtroom, with real charges, real evidence, and real consequences attached. Not a podcast, not a Twitter thread. Whether you believe his version of events or not, one thing is clear. This is the most serious legal position he's ever been in. What do you guys think happens from here? Does the extradition go through, or does his legal team manage to fight it off? Let me know your predictions in the comments, and subscribe for updates as this case develops. I love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys!